Hi guys, it's Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I'm so excited today to share with you a little bit of art therapy. And we are going to start really simple, and this is more fun than it is anything else, and it's a very good relaxation tool and a meditation tool. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I created a mandala today. And this is actually my first one that I've ever created. So it was a lot of fun, especially because I decided to take it into a level that is more aligned to us and our painting. I actually painted this mandala after I drew it. So we're gonna work today on learning how to create your own mandala. And I wanted to show you this coloring book that I actually found it in the house, and Michael, my husband, bought it. He is a therapist, and this is basically a doodling coloring book that he picked up at the store because he likes to doodle every once in a while, and I do too. So we picked up some markers and we picked this up. This is probably about 6 months ago we picked this up, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, as you can tell, we haven't used it yet. But it has some great information in it that talks about mandalas. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you here is the Sanskrit root, the root word of mandala is center or circle. So I thought that was really interesting. And people all over the world create mandalas. They use them in art class all of the time. It is a very relaxing tool. Kids make them, they have a lot of fun making them, and even adults use them. So this is definitely a tool that can be used in your own personal therapy, or if you like to do this with your grandkids, or just as a family. It's just something fun to do. And something else that I thought was really interesting when I was reading this was it promotes health and healing. So scientists and medical research has been done to show that the body's immune system and innate healing ability is enhanced whenever we can find something that gives us relaxation. And this is one of those tools that definitely gives you relaxation. So the less we can stay away from the stress, which obviously we have a lot of that going on right now with the COVID-19 crisis, this is something that you can do this in 15 minutes, or you could do this in an hour and a half. It's really completely up to you on how long you would want this actual exercise to last. So I'm really excited about showing you this today, and I hope that you share your mandalas in our Facebook group, because I am really proud of mine, and I will be showing you my mandala. So while we go through the process, I'm going to talk to you some more about how this is actual therapy and how you can use this in your art journey yourself. And remember, I mentioned to you once before, I'm using a mixed media pad to journal in. So this is one of my journaling pages, and I really enjoyed it, and I really want to make another one really soon, because some of my areas that I did on here, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do better next time. So what do you need to be able to do this? Well, you need a sheet of paper. It could be any size you want. I'm using, I think this is a 9x12 mixed media pad. It's just a blank sheet of paper. It really calls for a compass to make circles, but I didn't have a compass, so I improvised. I used the bottom of my little paintbrush holder. I used the bottom of other figures, some of my paints, so I didn't have to go really far for anything. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to need a pencil. Okay, and if I did it all over again, I would probably use a pencil for the whole thing. And you'll see I ended up using some pens, different color pens and stuff. But that is not necessary for the fact that we're going to be actually painting this. You could just do the whole thing in a pencil and it'll come out just fine. If you want to use different color pens, you can use different color pens, but like I said, I realized that that's not something that I needed to do. What else? A ruler. You're going to need a ruler just for the beginning of, and if you don't have a ruler, just use a straight edge, some type of straight edge that you have. And I think that is all we need. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to look at, and we're going to also talk about at the same time that we draw this, we're going to talk about the benefits of creating something like this. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking this big container here and I'm going to make my first circle because I do not have a compass. So I'm just going to make a circle around here. And then I'm just going to keep on working inward from that. And this would be a good size here. Just try to stay as much in the middle as you can. And then I'm going to go on the inside of the tape too and make another circle. So there we go. And then maybe this, no, that's a little bit too big. Let's see what else I have. Oh, I have this. Nope, that's too big too. What about this? Yes, that'll work. So I'm going to make another circle. So yeah, just improvise to make your circles. And then let's go with this one. This one is a little bit smaller. It doesn't matter how many circles you have, but honestly, the more, that one's a little bit too small. Too big. I'm gonna take that one away. That's why I used a pencil. I'm going to use this side instead. So okay, that's close enough. All right. So we are actually going to focus on making a flower mandala. And what are the benefits of a mandala? Well, the first benefit is it is an actual active meditation tool. So basically what that means is it helps you meditate while you are actually drawing and coloring. It gives you something to focus on. And throughout the whole activity, you are actively meditating. So you're concentrating on the here and now, and it allows you the opportunity to relax and be less stressed. And anytime we are less stressed and we spend time relaxing like this, it really, science shows it, and for all of you out there, I'm sure you know this already, stress and anxiety causes you to be unhealthy, and it makes you become ill if you don't take care of yourself in those kind of ways. And we are going to share them with each other in our Facebook group. So what I'm doing here is I made a circle, and then of course I made, 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 4 or 5 circles inside this circle. And now I'm drawing some lines. I'm going to cut it into fourths. And then I'm also going to cut it into eighths. So I went straight down the middle, and then I went straight down the middle here, and now I'm going to try to make it as close to the center as possible of these two right here. So let's say that would be about right there, a little bit over. It would be about right there. And so, and about right here. So make sure you go straight through the middle. So we're creating diameters straight through the middle. And then I'm going to do that one more time here and here. So it's really easy to draw this part out. And this is our guide. Let's see if I can get that to go straight through the middle. Okay, so that is my guide for my mandala. So, let's talk some more about the benefits of our mandala as we go. So the next thing this does is it allows you the opportunity to connect to the present moment, the moment you are experiencing right now. So we're going to focus our attention on what we're doing here, and we're not going to let any of those other things bother us that we let bother us on a normal day-to-day basis. So our thoughts tend to always make us think about things that maybe happened in the past or maybe might happen, and it causes stress in our lives. So if we take the opportunity to focus on the here and now when we're doing this, it really helps us relax during this whole process. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at the colors that I have here, and I just have some pens. I'm going to use a black pen in my mandala. Now, what I'm showing you here is just one option for you to create your mandala. There are so many different mandalas that you can create, like I showed you here. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of focus on making a flower out of ours. But you can make it any shape you want. So there are two different major shapes that we're gonna use here. We're gonna start from the center, and of course I made my little dot here. And we're gonna use these concentric circles here as, so I'm gonna start making the first layer or inside here, and then we're going to talk more about the benefits of our mandala and what it does for us. So I'm going to make kind of like some petals, and I'm going to use these areas here as what we call our anchor points. Okay, so you may want to make an anchor. You may want to use this anchor point here to make a little petal, and then here you may want to make a petal. This is completely up to you what you want to do. Okay, or you might want to, this pen's not working really well, so I'm going to grab another one. Or you might want to make an oval petal, almost like a leaf. So I'm going to do that here. And basically what we're doing is we're using all of these points here, these anchor points here, to help us in keeping everything symmetric. All right, so now you see, I'm going to use a different color. Now you see I have areas in between the petals that don't have anything there. So what if I want to use this anchor point here, and I want to create another petal? And I'm going to just make this one red. Well, if I did that here in between these two petals, then I'm going to do it again here in between these two. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And it's okay if it's not perfect. And then I'm going to do it one more time here. And look at that, how pretty already. So now I'm just going to use a different color. I don't have a lot of colors. And you can just do it all in black if you want and come back and paint it later in a different color. So it's totally up to you. So let's say we want to use the anchor points now in between these two petals. And let's say we want to go in between, and let's go really high up. So I'm going to make this one come over like that. And then I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make it go in the middle there and all the way back to the center. You don't have to go all the way back to the center every time. I'm going to show you how we can change that up. And like I said, you're not creating the same mandala that I am. You're just using this example to help you in creating your own. And I'm going to do one more. And this is totally just my imagination. It's just what I want to do on this picture. So there we go. So everything that I'm doing right here is just my own creativity. I'm not following a pattern of anyone else. I am just looking at it and I'm saying, I like this, or let's try this. So now what I'm going to do is, let's see, I am going to, since we're working on flowers and I want to keep it looking like a flower, and we want to just make an oval like that. All right, so that would be in between the red and the blue. So let's do another one here. And then I'm going to do another one right here. So this is just helping me stay symmetric in everything that I'm doing. And then from here, and here's another one. And then another one. So now you can see how it's making a beautiful flower, and I'm just making it up as I'm going. So next, let's see, I'm going to go from here. I'm going to find my own anchor points, and my anchor points are going to be these three areas right here. So let's see how that would work out. I'm just going to make a loop like this. All right, so I'm going to go here, here, and here, and I'm going to just make a loop. That one didn't come out that great, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going at the ends of the long ovals that I made, and I'm just doing this all the way around. And then I'm going to do one more here. Now, that was a lot of fun. So, let me use, I think this is a blue pen. Yes, oh no, that's a black, but it's okay. Now I'm gonna grab my points. Let's go with these and right here. And I'm just gonna make a big loop like this. So I'm going to go from the ends of the reds to this line here, and I'm just going to make a big loop. Into the red, big loop. Now you can choose, again, I will repeat this to you, you can make it look however you want it to look. But this is just the way mine is gonna look. Okay, I like that. Now I'm gonna go from this point here, and I'm gonna go out all the way to the end. All the way to the center here. This one wasn't quite in the center, but, so I'm gonna go all the way to here. The center. Center of this. It's really a lot of fun, and it is very relaxing. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make a circle. And then I'm just going to use the 4 points here, and I'm going to make a pointed petal. I didn't do this one too great, but that's okay. This one's a little messed up. Let me see if I can fix it. Or maybe, just maybe, since I did that here, I can go here and do the same thing. Just make 3 lines. Make it come out like that. So that is going to be my mandala. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to start coloring it. So I'm going to use my black, and the first thing I'm going to do is just make some lines. And then I'm going to take some paint. I'm going to use aqua because I love aqua. So it's one of my favorite colors. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the paint on my palette. And I'm going to use a small brush. And this is not a good one. Let's go even smaller. And I'm going to water down the paint with some water. And make it almost like a watercolor. And then I'm going to go back and just start painting. Because as much as we love painting, this would be a great, fun, easy activity. And I just fast forwarded through, since all I'm doing here is I'm just painting whatever colors I choose to do. But what I wanted to share with you is I really learned a lot about myself through this process. I noticed that I had a lot of small little areas in there, almost too busy, and it kind of reflects a little bit of my personality because I always have a ton of things going on in my life. And I kind of felt like this reflected that because I had a lot of little circles and little areas that I was working in. And that's just something that I've always done. I can never sit still and not have something to do. And so I thought that this reflected it a lot. Also, the colors that I used were really interesting. I started with some really bright, springy colors, and then I went into a navy, which started to come out a lot darker than I wanted it to. And so I caught myself trying to brighten up those areas that were really dark. So I guess that would reflect some of my personality as well, because I'm always striving to look for the positives and the joyful side of things, which is more of, those colors that are bright and, have a lot of energy. So when I started using the dark colors, I didn't like it. And so I went back and I tried. You'll see how I shade in some things and I try to lighten it up some. So it's just a great opportunity for you to have fun, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. And I'd love for you to share your thoughts on your feelings through the process and if you enjoyed it or not. It was probably one of the most enjoyable things that I've done in a long time, besides, the actual paintings. But to have the opportunity to just work on this and not have to follow something, because I normally, when I paint, I'm always wanting to
look at a picture and follow something, but having that freedom to just let it create itself was something that I enjoyed tremendously, and I cannot wait to do more of that and start experimenting on paintings as well, where I just go from my imagination rather than a photograph. So I hope you have a great experience with this, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. So I will see you next time. The rest of the video is basically just me painting it, and then I go ahead and I put some highlights in it and some shading, and it's a great opportunity for you to practice your shading and your painting. So have fun. Talk to you later.